Hey everyone, how are we today? Just doing our monthly shadow work reading for the full moon. This is a full moon in Aries. It is a super moon, commonly called the hunter's moon. And I'm not going to lie, guys, this is probably going to be a bit of a hectic one for everyone. It is all about empowerment and transformation, but with that Aries energy, it's coming through strong. Okay, so especially being the biggest supermoon of the year as well, so we've got a lot of energy to contend with. There's a lot of excitement and courage and passion that comes through with the Aries stuff, and a reminder to focus on yourself first and foremost. Reflect and balance out relationships where you're not putting yourself first. So you may find yourself having to defend yourself, stand up for yourself, but also taking risks, being courageous to take the risks to, fix any issues, those sorts of things as well. But it's really going to be putting your shadow self front and center. So today's reading cannot come at a better time, this full moon, because this one is going to be very, very shadow worky. All right. So, which is all about, confronting those aspects of ourselves so that we can move forward and transform ourselves, accept the darker parts of ourselves as part of who we are, and, integrate and accept and move forward, transform ourselves, empower ourselves. Okay. So it may stir up some power struggles, jealousy, obsession, ego and control issues as well. But, the more that you confront, accept and release those issues, the more that you will find solid foundations moving forward, really enabling those transformations within self. Okay. So a bit of a rough one this month, guys, especially for Aries and Libra, probably also affecting Cancer and Capricorn quite heavily as well. But we'll get into it, see what's coming through, because it's going to, a lot of you are going to find individual issues coming front and center. Anyway, I'm going to try to keep it a little bit lighter this month, just give you some stuff to, think about, and we'll move forward, hopefully, into some much better energy come Halloween and all the energy that brings with it. And then moving forward toward the end of the year. Okay, which is always a really good, energy. The end of the year does tend to have a lot of positive energy attached to it, with Christmas and Thanksgiving for those of you in America and whatnot as well. And New Year's resolutions are a thing and all that sort of stuff. So the way that the year is laid out does really give you that opportunity to sort of reconcile things at the end of the year as well. So, but we'll look at that a little bit more come Halloween and then, the end of the year itself. Okay, but subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I do really appreciate that, of course. This time around, we are just going to be using the Shadow Work Oracle as well as the Red Hand Lenormand to sort of clarify and deepen those messages. Starting off with Aries, being an Aries full moon. As always, I will be taking timestamps, and those timestamps will be in the description box with all my other info. Okay, so Aries, the shadow work message Aries needs right now. What does Aries need to see for their shadow work this month, please? Shadow work for Aries. Okay, Aries. Oh, as an Aries moon, I feel that. Not gonna lie. Okay, we have obsession coming through first. You can kind of see in the imagery here, it's someone standing in the center of this maze as well. So, obsession really does tend to bring out this feeling of like, I'm so stuck in the middle of this obsession. How do I get out of this? How do I escape this obsession? I feel like those feelings are coming up for you with something in your life at the moment. It does say release the chains of thought and free your mind. So for a lot of you Aries, it's probably obsessive thoughts coming through. Or if you're like me and you have a little bit of OCD, you may have some other stuff that you are really struggling with, those obsessive behaviors or compulsions and things like that as well. We do also see guilt coming through. So once again, releasing the chains. This says the first sentence in both of these, release the chains. Okay, so this one's release the chains of past mistakes and embrace the growth that they bring. All right, so really needing to release yourself from these thoughts, Aries, and releasing yourself from these chains at the moment, feeling very weighed down, chained to certain things in your life, certain energies in your life. Clarify this shadow work message for Aries, please. Aries, obsession and guilt, shadow work themes for Aries this month. Oh, I'm getting a very interesting message here. And excuse me for any sniffling, guys. As anyone that watches knows, I do have a lot of hay fever issues. Allergy issues. We're starting off with the fox here, Aries. So this is really asking you to really focus on yourself and put yourself first, but in a logical, rational way, rather than an obsessive way of thinking. It's needing to step back and be very rational, logical, looking at yourself from the third person. Thinking things like, if I was a friend of mine, what advice would I give myself in this situation? That kind of thing. But it's also, being aware here, I feel for a lot of you that this obsessiveness and the guilt, especially the guilt coming through there, that anywhere that you are being held to the past, and maybe mistakes that you've made or guilt over the way that things have happened in the past, there is this energy here of it's kind of playing mind games with yourself. All right, so really needing to break that particular chain here, Aries, that understanding that some of these things that you're thinking and obsessing over, it's kind of like you are actually just playing a little bit of, you're manipulating your thoughts by only seeing the negative stuff. You're not actually stepping back and looking at that objectively and fully rationally and seeing the positive sides of those things as well. So there is this element here of being aware that your mind is playing tricks on you a little bit. Okay, so it's definitely some mind games going on here within your own self. All right, but we do have the key followed by the flowers coming through for you as well here, Aries. So I do feel as though that's kind of a little bit of a separate message, and more so along the lines of it does feel like the energy I'm getting here, it's kind of like the universe is telling you what to do, Aries. So I know that you, Aries, are not someone who's very good at releasing control and allowing, control anywhere else other than yourself. But, it's kind of the universe. You kind of have to stop and listen sometimes, the God, the universe, whatever you personally, believe there as well. But it's kind of like telling you to open up your heart a little bit here, because the key really does open up. So this is opening yourself up to really stepping back from outside of your own self and really objectively looking at your thoughts and the way that you're holding on to things from the past. So opening up and being a little bit more honest with yourself with that key there, and finding more opportunities to give. Okay, it's kind of asking you here to, like I did say, with that full moon intro there, that part of this full moon is actually about balancing out relationships, which does sort of, with the flowers coming through here, it talks about why are you not giving your full self? Why are you not opening up? Why are you not giving enough? Is what I'm kind of getting here intuitively from that message, that it's the universe is telling you that you're needing to open up and give more. All right, if you're wanting balance in those relationships, maybe it is you that is needing to just give a little bit more. And this message of not expecting things in return when you're not giving in the first place. So you can't have reciprocal energy if you're not giving in return. Okay, so if you feel as though someone is not giving enough to you, stop and ask yourself, hang on, how can I give more to that person, to that environment, that situation, in order to receive more from that? Okay, so there is this question coming through there in regard to that as well, Aries. So that's what we have for you. Being the full moon, it may prove useful to check your moon sign as well if you are someone like me who is invested in the shadow work, self-growth stuff. So check those other placements, subscribe, and I will move on over to our Taurus. Okay, Taurus, shadow work coming through for Taurus. What does Taurus need to see for their shadow work this month? What does Taurus need to see for their shadow work this month, please? Apathy. Ignite your passion, for it's the antidote to indifference. Okay, so if it's kind of realizing, Taurus, that there's some things that you're kind of telling yourself, I don't care. I don't care about that. I have no opinion one way or another. So it's kind of trying to find a little bit of passion for an opinion one way or the other. Okay, so it's kind of asking you to really look at the things where you're telling yourself that you are indifferent to those things, and actually looking a little bit deeper, because deeper down there is actually, more of an attachment to those things. And I feel like it's this apathy is coming through because of the fact that you're telling yourself, oh, I'm indifferent, I don't care. But it's kind of covering the fact that maybe you care too much, and that's why you're saying, I don't care about that. Okay, so really think about those things. We'll delve a little bit deeper with the lenormand in a moment, but we also have attachment. Okay, true growth requires letting go. So what in your life do you need to let go of? Are you holding on to some stuff that's happened in the past here? Are you holding on to a person that you know is not bringing positive energy into your life? What's going on here? I'm just going to clarify those two energies separately. I feel for you here, Taurus. Clarify apathy for Taurus with their shadow work, please. Clarify attachment for Taurus with their shadow work, please. Okay, so with the apathy card, once again, ignite your passion. It's the antidote to your indifference. So, that passion doesn't need to be the thing that you're indifferent to. It's just in general, igniting the things that you're passionate about really helps you balance out those other sides of you that you're kind of, pushing away a little bit here, Taurus. We do have the Tower and the Fish. Okay, so you're kind of telling yourself that, the fish is very muchly related to money and financial issues and those sorts of things, whereas the Tower is talking about, when it comes to this message, I feel as though it's talking about, standing tall and saying, I've got this all by myself, being very independent and like a fortress all unto yourself here, Taurus. Kind of like, I can do this, it's fine, but I'm indifferent to help, is what I kind of feel is that what that's sort of saying, that you are kind of acting like you don't care and you don't need help, but maybe you do. All right, so finding your passion underlying here can really actually help you find the help that you need. I do feel as though with this message coming through here, I am getting a little bit of reassurance coming through that the financial foundation is good, Taurus. It's something else that's affecting you financially here. And it feels as though it's more of this standalone type energy that's making you're not seeking the light. We can see that this particular tower is a lighthouse. So, find the light, find the things that you're passionate about, outside of money and financial situations, and understand that it's the foundation of your financials that you need to be concerned with, not the current energy, if that kind of makes sense. It's the way that we're looking at our finances long term, and making decisions for the long term rather than worrying about what's happening right here, right now, or what happened yesterday with the finances. Okay, so if you're acting indifferent to something that's happened in the past financially, or this cycle of, I feel for some of you it's more along the lines of like a cycle of struggling with finances or struggling to understand a certain part of finances, but you're still just trying to work it all out by yourself. But if you start to look forward into, okay, hang on, how can I actually confront this issue and resolve this issue? Maybe I do need to ask somebody for help here. I feel as though the foundation will become stronger, and that's not going to crash and burn around you. But I am getting this message that, there is just a few little fine tuning that needs to happen with your finances here. It's coming through in your shadow work. So it may do more to do with the way that you approach money and the way that you feel about money and look at money and spending money and holding on to money. I do feel for some of you, it's kind of like, you're kind of trying to build this giant tower around yourself with money, but the tower will fall if you're trying to build it with stacks of cash. You need to build a tower with bricks, so the foundation's not quite strong enough. It's understanding that there's more to this tower than money. Okay, so maybe trying to get away from materialism a little bit here as well. So it's not coming through super, super clear here. I feel as though you will know what I'm talking about more than I understand what I'm saying, if that kind of makes it. Once again, I keep saying that. Every time I say things like that, I keep getting reminded of Tyler's tarot, and he'll say, I'm really not connecting with this reading, and that's usually when it resonates the strongest for people. So I'm kind of getting that energy here, that for those of you, it's kind of that if you know energy. Whereas this attachment energy, true growth requires letting go. We do see that butterfly in the cage. So something stopping your full transformation here, something caging you from being able to fly free and be fully free here. I do see the bear energy firstly here, as well as the fungi coming through, Taurus. So for a lot of you, this may be connected to a person or people. Okay, the fungi usually talks about a group of people, and the bear, it's kind of like with this bear energy here, it's kind of like you're, because I am picking up for a few of you, this is family attachment with the fungi card there. It's like, if it's not family, it's like your tribe, the group that you surround yourself with. So the one that comes instantly to mind is family, because that's the first group that we surround ourselves with in life. Or not by choice a lot of the time, and not necessarily by blood either. But with the bear here, for some of you, this definitely could be your mother, with that bear. It kind of is a mama bear kind of energy. But there is the need to protect yourself a little bit more from the way that you are limiting yourself within this situation, within this group. Because there may just be a problem with boundaries, the way that you're putting up boundaries between yourself and this person. Okay, so I am just picking up for a lot of you that this attachment that you need to let go of, it's kind of giving me that, because I even mentioned blood before too when I was talking about family. It's something I've been hearing a lot lately that is really coming to mind right now, is that saying, and everyone likes to say, blood is thicker than water, and then everyone likes to always make sure, well, I don't know if you guys know about this, but every time I've heard this recently, everyone is coming through and saying, and did you know that that's not the full sentence? The full sentence is that the blood of the womb is thicker than the water of, no, the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. So I feel like this is appropriate to this situation, Taurus, that, you know, because when people say blood is thicker than water, they're trying to say, oh, you've got to stick to your family. But I'm feeling the opposite is the message here, that it's blood of the covenant is thicker than water of the womb. Okay, so the blood of the covenant is thicker than that family bond. So it's more about, you know, freeing yourself maybe from that water of the womb energy, where especially with the womb stuff and the mother energy coming through with that bear, I do feel for a lot of you this is like some sort of attachment to your mother. Okay, so I know that that's not going to be the case for everybody, but that's what I am getting here, that there may be some sort of attachment with the mother, and you're allowing your mother to, you know, step over your boundaries a little bit, or you're not placing strong enough boundaries between yourself and your mother. Okay, so, you know, flip that as much as necessary, you know, change that person to whoever that may be in your personal life here. But I am picking up mother. So, and I definitely keep getting the family vibe from that, Taurus. So it's really about there's something holding you back with that attachment. Okay, so there's something a little bit unhealthy about that attachment. So maybe just needing to look at that this month with your shadow work, and really sort of work out, you know, where you need to fine tune that situation as well. Okay, so that's what we have for you, Taurus. You're more than welcome to check your other placements, especially your moon sign being the full moon reading, of course. And I will move on over to Gemini. Okay, Gemini. What does Gemini need to see for their shadow work? Gemini, what does Gemini need to see for their shadow work, please? Grief. In pain, find healing and deeper connection to the self. And I can see why you're holding back from feeling. Ego. Okay. Beyond the facade of ego lies the depth of true character. So I really need to put more warnings on these readings about how confronting I'm going to be in some of these things. But Gemini, you're putting on a facade. You're putting on this false front that I do not have grief, that I do not feel grief. I do not feel sad, upset, loss over something, someone. Okay, you're telling yourself everything is fine. It's fine. It didn't matter anyway. You're fronting. You're fronting. You're hiding behind this mask, telling yourself that this grief does not exist for you, that this grief is not there. I don't feel it. I don't feel a loss of that. I don't feel that sad about that. I don't feel upset about that. It's kind of asking you, you need to face the grief. You need to face the true feelings, you know, because that is part of what you need to absorb and absolve within yourself in order to find healing, in order to find growth and understand the full depth of your own character. Okay, we'll clarify that for you, Gemini. It's pretty straightforward for you here. And I do feel for a lot of you, it's got to do with a specific, like a specific loss of a relationship, whether it's a love relationship, a friendship, loss of a person, you know, physically in your life. And you're kind of telling yourself, no, that happened so long ago. I shouldn't care about that anymore. For some of you. Gemini, clarify grief and ego for Gemini. It's kind of like you're telling yourself, I've got to be strong. I've got to put on this big face. And yeah, I'm definitely seeing that here immediately. For a lot of you, it is a love situation or somebody that you had in your life long term. So it could have been, you know, like some sort of unconditional love, whether that be family, long-term friend, you know, lover. Firstly, I've got the masculine coming through. So this is you fronting. This is that ego. I'm strong. I'm powerful. I'm in control of my emotions. I don't have emotions. I don't need to show emotions, says Gemini here with that masculine. It's creating more blockages for you. We have the mountain there as well. So for some of you, this may specifically have to do with a Capricorn that you have lost in the past. Not necessarily. That mountain really just does show that, yes, it's going to take a bit of hard work to face the truth of these feelings. Not going to lie. You're going to have to, it's constant determination. It's waking up every single day going, yes, I do feel grief over that. Yes, I accept that I am upset about that. Grief is normal and okay. I can still get on with my life and still feel this. It is okay and normal to feel sadness. I don't have to hide the fact that I had something that I lost, had someone that I lost. Okay, it's creating more blockages within you. It's the biggest challenge that you're facing at the moment, Gemini, with that mountain there. Yourself is the biggest challenge in a way with that ego and the masculine. It's kind of getting past this. I have to be stoic. I have to be non-emotional. I can't feel. I can't show feelings. I can't all those sorts of things coming through here. But we do see that, you're burning the candle at both ends. We have the candle coming through, which is, how I did know that is sort of, an eternal flame that you had for somebody. This is a strong connection that you've had in the past here, most likely love for a lot of you. But it's kind of, you're keeping that candle burning for this person, knowing that you've lost them. You're not facing the loss. You're not facing the grief attached to the loss and the other feelings that come up with that. And it's making you burn the candle at both ends by doing so, by not addressing this issue, this blockage. For a lot of you, you may be distracting yourself too much, where you're going to send yourself into burnout. Okay, I'm picking up for a lot of you here that there's a lot of there's a lot of fire deep down inside you that, if you don't control that fire by addressing it, that it's going to burn out of control and it's going to burn you out of control. Okay, it's going to hit a point where you can't hide from it anymore, and things get even worse when you're not facing them, head on. If you don't face these things head on, instead of just being a little fire that you can easily put out and deal with, manage, it becomes this giant big bonfire that, all the houses around you start catching fire as well. So, it starts affecting other people around you and things like that as well. Okay, but that's what we have for you to look at this month, Gemini. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, especially your moon sign being the full moon. Subscribe, and I will move on over to our Cancers. Okay, Cancer. Cancer, what does Cancer need to see for their shadow work this month? Cancer, what does Cancer need to see for their shadow work this month? That one. Very similar message to what we just saw for Gemini. Firstly, grief coming through here, Cancer. In pain, find healing and deeper connection to yourself. And then we do see pride coming through as well. True worth is measured by character, not accolades. So I am picking up strongly that grief message is very, very similar to Gemini's. So for some of you, I would recommend just watching that Gemini portion as well. Specifically, if you do recognize that there is something that you have a lot of grief about in your life, whether that's, I feel like for you guys, rather than a person, it may be situations, traumas, things that you've been through, environments that you've lived through, all different situations rather than people. Clarify grief for Cancer with their shadow work, please. yeah, emotions that you're holding back from, Cancer. We have the moon, followed by the cat. So you're holding these feelings apart from yourself. Your intuition is trying to tell you to deal with these, but you're holding them separate to yourself and trying to push them away a little bit here, even though you know that they are affecting other areas of your life, especially friendships and your sense of companionship, and the way that you feel support and the give support seems to be getting affected here by your grief that you're withholding. We also have the snake coming through for that grief card as well. So for some of you, this is, I'm getting a few messages here. For some of you, this grief is attached to a situation in your past that was some sort of sexual, physical situation, that you have a lot of healing and pain attached to a sexual or physical situation in your past. For others of you, it's more along the lines of feeling deceived and betrayed by people. But it's more so the situation. It's not specifically this person, or like it could be, but it's like, it's more like just this general feeling of constantly being deceived, constantly being betrayed. So it's kind of like you're now putting that, because we've seen that cat energy there, that you're kind of putting that energy on everyone around you, that you're kind of saying to yourself that, and the same with the sexual, physical stuff. So if someone has, like, I know this is a really rough topic, but for someone here, there's like physical abuse or sexual abuse in your past, okay, and that's what it's talking about. For others of you, it's just this general feeling of being betrayed by a situation or a person, and it's kind of like a continual thing, because it's like you're telling yourself that every single person is going to do that. Every single person is going to deceive me or betray me. Every single person may physically abuse me, may, SA me. And so it's really affecting your the way that you interact with other people heavily. Okay, so it's definitely something that you need to approach. If this is something, more along the lines of abuse, definitely go and seek a therapist. Highly recommend that sort of stuff. I see a therapist once a month, and thank goodness for that. They don't call me crazy fairy for no reason, right, guys? Okay, she be crazy. But yeah, there's a lot of pain that you're still holding on to, a lot of pain, a lot of grief, a lot of sadness that you're still holding on to, that you do need to start healing, start the healing process if you haven't already. There is a lot more healing that needs to happen there, okay, Cancer? The second card we had for you there is the pride energy. True worth is measured by character, not accolades. I'm intuitively being told what that's about. I will clarify it, but I can kind of intuitively tell you straight away anyway that this is about materialism, okay? Pride energy for Cancer with their shadow work, please. Once again, it's reflecting. We have the dog and the mirror coming through there. So once again, it definitely is that materialism stuff. It's like, but it's got to do, it's wanting to tell me straight away with that dog there, because the dog is the pairing card to the cat. So it is telling me that it's affecting your relationships and the way that you interact with other people, the way that you see and feel people as loyal to you, or a potential companion, friend, support. Okay, the way that you give and receive support to and from, people. It's got a lot to do with materialism here, and material worth. Okay, and we are seeing the mirror energy there as well. So it's kind of asking you to really stop and think about, are you seeing people as, they will only be proud of me if I have a lot of money, if I have a good job, if I have the car, if I have the nice house, if I, if I have stuff, if I'm dressed nicely, if I'm, this and that and this, rather than the qualities that you have within your soul. Okay. And there's also this element of you looking at others like that. So maybe questioning yourself of like, what do I like about that person? Okay, a bit of an activity for you here, Cancer. Stop and think about, 3 people that are very important to you in your life, and sit down and list the qualities about the things about that person that you find their best qualities, the things that you're most proud of them for, and for some of you, I'm kind of getting this activity is noticing how many of those things are material things and versus how many of those things are qualities of that person's soul. Okay, so that's the kind of energy we're wanting to look at with that. So for some of you, you may want to just focus on, if I'm going to list 5 things I like about that person, I'm going to limit myself to only putting down 5 qualities about that person that I like and am proud of them for having, kindness of heart and, being able to be friendly to people, whatever those qualities you see in that person are. And then realizing with that mirroring aspect, realizing that this is all elements of you yourself as well. Okay, so that, when you see worth in somebody else, for a quality, that actually is a quality that you yourself hold important, that if you're proud of someone being kind, you either are yourself very kind already and you appreciate that quality about yourself, or you want to be more kind, and that's why you really perceive that in that other person. Okay, so thinking about that, it feels important to just think a little bit more about that and the way that you're looking at others and the way that you're allowing others to perceive you, and the spin that you're putting on it within your own self. Am I only thinking I like that person because they've got a good car, they've got a good job, they're a lawyer, so they must be better than me? Is that how you're looking at people? Is sort of what I'm wanting to question you there on. Okay, so that's what we have for you today, Cancer. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Subscribe, and I will move on over to our Leos. Okay, Leo, what aspects does Leo need to see for their shadow work, please? Shadow work for Leo. Shadow work for Leo. Oh, that wouldn't be Leo. Ego. Okay, ego. Beyond the facade of ego lies the depth of true character. Kind of getting this in an interesting way for you, Leo. It's the facade that you're putting on to face the world. And the facade that you're seeing in others. I am getting this going both ways a little bit here, Leo, that you're seeing certain things in people, and it's kind of like what I'm getting an example here of you like looking at somebody and saying, oh wow, that person is so emotional, they act so rashly, they act from their emotions, because maybe you're seeing somebody and they're like in the example of like road rage. Okay, like you're driving along and you see somebody cutting people off, and then somebody like goes nuts and starts yelling, and you're judging that person a little bit, and like, why, that person, they're so out of pocket because they're yelling and screaming and they're showing their anger so visibly. It's you're really reacting to that. specifically with anger, okay, because we have anger coming through as well. Use its fire to transform, not destroy. And it's kind of like you put on this facade where you hide your anger so well, Leo. You are a fire sign. You have a lot of fire. So we know there's anger there under the surface, but you're hiding it. You're putting this mask of ego, like, I would never behave in that manner. I'm feeling a bit of judgment coming from you a little bit here, Leo, as well. So, maybe take that into consideration. But you're really perceiving the way that other people allow their emotions out. It's the way that you're perceiving. And the way that you're perceiving, the way that you let your emotions out, I refuse to show people my true emotions. But I'm kind of getting, this is going to destroy you if you keep holding all this fire inside you. Maybe you need to take a page out of their book and just go psycho, go full Karen mode on somebody. If they cut you off in traffic, maybe you need to. Maybe that's what's needing to. No, of course I'm not going to tell anyone to go and, be violent or yell and scream and things like that. But it's all about releasing your emotions a little bit more, in order to, really get down to the truth of your own character here. If you're holding those emotions back so much that you're not allowing them to come to the surface at all, you don't even know your own true character. And then if you're put in a situation where, you are forced to be emotional, then who knows, this fire could totally destroy the world, Leo. You have a lot of fire, okay? So you're using that fire, any anger within you, to transform the way that you deal with feelings and the way that you show feelings, okay? Clarify this shadow work message for Leo. One wanting to jump on out there. Clarify this shadow work message for Leo. Ego and anger. Once again, I'm going to be a little bit confronting here, not going to lie. We have the scythe coming through, okay? So this is kind of a warning here for you, Leo, that if you don't make a sudden sort of change to the way that you deal with this issue and with your own anger, that it's going to bubble up and it's going to come through like I'm hearing Wrecking Ball, like from Miley Cyrus, like it's going to come through like this scythe and it's going to cut out all this stuff out of your life, good, bad, and whatever. It's going to harvest everything, not just the stuff that you don't want. Okay, so it's kind of like you can see in this one, he's sort of dressed up as death there, with the scythe. It's kind of like it's going to kill off all the good things in your life if you don't allow it out in increments. Okay, you can control it, you definitely can control it, but we do have the rose coming through there as well. So you are needing to make a bit of a commitment to not judging quite as much, because we do also have the city here as well. So rather than judging, it's kind of asking you here to make a little bit of a commitment to understand that you are just one of the many. Okay, you are not, like, I hate to say it, but your ego is telling you that I am better than everyone else because I do not react that way. This is what I'm hearing, okay? I'm sorry if that's not you, that's fine. If that's triggering you a little bit, me saying that, maybe this is something you do need to consider, okay? Because that's how the energy is coming through here. The city is all about, I feel as though this is trying to remind you that you are just one little person in this bustling, crazy world with billions of people. Okay, so there's nothing that, just because you manage to hold your anger in a different way, doesn't make you better than anyone else. just because you don't react a certain way doesn't make you better than that person. There's something to be said here. Maybe that person is actually more free because they're more honest with themselves. Okay, that's their true depth of character. Like, it's on the surface. They're not hiding that from us. Okay, so just be aware of that this facade that you're putting on, that, I hate to say it, Leo, but it feels like you are, I'm better than these people because I don't react that way, is what I'm clearly getting. And needing to kind of ground yourself a little bit and just remember that you're just one of the whole, and maybe you need to actually take on some of these lessons you're seeing in the way that other people react and deal with certain emotions, specifically anger for you. Okay. Sorry if that was a little bit confronting, Leo. I am sorry. Shadow work can be full on sometimes, guys. Okay, you are more than welcome to check out your other placements. Subscribe to the channel if you don't hate me already. And I will move on over to Virgo. Okay, Virgo. What does Virgo need to see for their shadow work, please? What does Virgo need to see for their shadow work? Virgo, shadow work for Virgo, please. I am shuffling the ever-living out of these, and I keep getting, a lot of signs getting the same cards. We have got Pride coming through for you, which I believe was Libra had that come through as well. Not Libra, sorry. Cancer had that come through, Virgo. So if you do have a strong Cancer placement, or Gemini, because Gemini was a similar message attached to the Pride energy as well. But that one does say true worth is measured by character, not accolades. Once again, I'm getting Cancer. The message I had for Cancer here is coming through strongly. So if you do have a strong Cancer placement, you may want to check that one, especially if you're a Cancer moon, Virgo. So your true worth is measured by character, not accolades. Okay, and we do also see insecurity. Your worth is intrinsic and unchanging. So these both talk about your self-worth. All right, Virgo, true worth, your worth. Your worth is intrinsic and unchanging, and true worth is measured by character. So I can pretty much tell you straight away what, just intuitively, I can kind of tell you what this is all about, Virgo, but I will clarify. But, just generally speaking, this is about the way that you find worth in yourself and others. Okay, so it's kind of telling us, and it's talking about materialism, all right, and the way that you look at yourself and others, that you find your worth through having money, having the car, having the job, having the house, having stuff, is how you're giving yourself worth, rather than qualities. I'm a good person, I'm kind, I'm happy, I'm positive, I'm whatever those qualities are. You're not giving yourself qualities, you're giving yourself materialistic value. And it's making you feel insecure. I'm not good enough because I don't have enough money. I don't have a nice enough car. I'm not dressed nice enough. That's what's giving you your insecurity. It's not you, okay? It's not coming from you. It's not actually you that's giving you this insecurity about yourself, Virgo. It's telling yourself that I'm not good enough because of money is kind of what's coming through here. Clarify this message for Virgo, please. Clarify, Virgo, pride and insecurity. Not being proud of yourself for qualities rather than what I've got. This is what I show the world. I'm, interesting here because, we do have two of the solar cards. We have the moon and the sun both coming out. So your intuition has probably been trying to reveal this to you already, you know, and it's kind of letting me know as well that my intuition was, you know, revealing the truth of the matter already. But you know, there is a lot of emotions attached to your self-worth, um, from the money stuff. That I feel good about myself when I have nice clothes. I feel, you know, that's where you find positive energy. That's where you find happiness in spending, in having nice things. But you know, when that fails you, and you know, we don't always have, you know, a beautiful life full of money falling from the sky, you know. But it's got to do more so with this fungi energy, okay, and the way that you hold yourself to others. The fungi is very connected. You're not connecting to people emotionally, you're connecting to people through this false sense of happiness, of pride in material things that, you know, you maybe and for some of you it's going both ways as well, that you're not happy with that person in your life unless they display material qualities that you like. So I'm not going to be friends with that person because they don't earn enough money. Okay, I'm not going to be friends with that person because they don't drive a nice enough car for me. So be wary of that side of yourself, Virgo, coming through a little bit here, because you know it does affect the way that you connect with others. The fungi is very connected, talking about connections with other people. Your you know, your tribe, so to speak. Um, there's a lot of under the surface connections here, and you're not making those connections out of character and qualities. You're making those connections out of money, things. Okay. And if you're building your tribe out of money and things and networking and those sorts of things, what happens when the money's gone? Is that person no longer your friend? You know, it's kind of asking you those sorts of questions and asking you, how are you, you know, connecting to others? Are you connecting to the truth of who they are and their qualities? Are you allowing them to connect to you for those same reasons, or are you only connecting to people where, oh, we both are we both earn the same, so we both have this nice car and we both get along because we both wear, you know, the brand name, or whatever, you know, whatever those things are in your particular circumstances. And for some of you, I'm picking up too that it's kind of the opposite is true, that you're telling yourself that I I don't wear brand names. I'm not rich. I don't have this. So I can't be friends with that person because they earn more money than I do. They're too good for me, kind of thing. So and it's creating more insecurity around yourself as well. So for some of you it's going in that direction where it's like, I can't be friends with that person because they have a nice car, they have a good job, I'm not good enough. I don't have a good job, I don't have a nice car. But that person, they're looking at your character, not what you have. Okay, so maybe thinking a little bit about that, Virgo. All right, but that's what we have for you. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. I'm just going to quickly pause for a drink and then move on to Libra. Okay, Libra. Libra, what do you need to know for your shadow work? Just had one fly out. Oh, they're flying at me. Okay, Libra. The first one that flew out, we have regret. Okay. The past cannot be changed, but the future is still in your hands. So holding on to something from the past, holding on to some regrets, things that have happened in the past, the way things have happened in the past. But we also do have insecurities coming through here as well. So for a lot of you, this may be things like, I'm picking up here, Libra, it's regret over allowing your insecurities to take control in the past and sort of stop you from doing things. Okay, that one does say your worth is intrinsic and unchanging. Okay, but I am picking up here because this particular full moon, as I mentioned in the intro there, for a lot of people, it is going to be quite daunting, and it's about facing some of the darker stuff. But for you, this is actually coming through as, more along the exciting side of things, the taking risks side of things, having courage within yourself. Okay, so I feel like that may be the aspect that you are sort of confronting and, accepting as part of yourself so that you can move forward and integrate that into yourself a little bit more. So I do feel as though that for a lot of you, this is going to be stuff like regretting not taking the chance, regretting not trying that thing, not doing that thing, not saying what you really felt, those kinds of things. Because, in the past, you may have let your insecurities sort of hold you back from doing what you truly wanted to do or say or whatever it was. So I kind of feel like this is actually a really positive kind of shadow work energy here, Libra. But we'll clarify that a little bit more. Libra, shadow work for Libra, regret and insecurity in Libra's shadow work, please. Yeah, okay. So pretty much exactly what I've just said. I am finding this time around with this full moon. Maybe it's because, this full moon is affecting my placements quite strongly. My intuition is sort of intuitively telling me the messages before I'm even seeing the cards confirming it. So it's confirming for me that I'm on the right track for you all. So that's something, right? But firstly, we have the clouds. Okay, so we see anxieties and you overthinking things in the past and overthinking what people might think of you, really holding you back because we do have the anchor here as well. So it's kind of like the way that you've been thinking in the past, you regret the way that you have thought and allowed insecurities to take hold and take over your thought and sort of make you think that that's the rational, logical decision, but it's actually your insecurities telling you that rather than, the objective truth coming through for you here. Okay, so it's kind of showing us that this anchor for you in the past, your thoughts have been holding you down, holding you back, keeping you stuck from doing things and taking chances and whatnot, being courageous. Okay, and we do have the scythe coming through as well. So this really is showing us that this is your opportunity to, do the impulsive thing, make the sudden unexpected changes, things that people may think that's unexpected. Libra would never do that. Here you are making those changes. It's like a sudden break for it. Like you're making a break for it. You're breaking those chains of that anchor. You're cutting that anchor free from your ship and sailing off into the distance here. So for a lot of you, this may come through very impulsively, this full moon. So you may be acting a little bit rashly during the full moon period. But I feel as though it's all kind of, letting yourself be free from these insecurities, that things that have held you back and stopped you from trying things in the past. I'm getting a personal message asking to be shared here with you. It's just an example of something that would sort of classify this is like, for myself, when I was young, I've been big my whole entire life. I've been a bigger person and, I've allowed my weight to hold me back in a lot of different ways, especially when it comes to, being adventurous. And, when I was young, I would never dare to do certain things, activities that, you know, my brain would tell me, oh, I can't do that because I'm bigger. And a perfect example of that is a flying fox. Okay. So I finally went on a flying fox a couple of years ago for the first time ever, and I absolutely loved it. Okay, I had so much fun, and now I really want to do a whole bunch of stuff. Like I want to go skydiving and things like that. So I'm not going to allow my weight to stop me from doing those things now. But I could have been doing them 20 years ago if I had have realized how much fun I would have had doing those sorts of things. So it may be something just little like that, like going on something that going on a ride that you never thought you would be able to go on, and those sorts of things, you know, things that you've been holding yourself back from doing because of insecurity in the past. And you're kind of realizing with this full moon that a life lived with regret is it really living? I feel like what you're kind of asking yourself. And, you know, would I rather live my life and, you know, would I rather regret the things that I do try and fail at, or would I rather regret not trying at all in the first place? So very interesting energy for you there, Libra, but that's what we're looking at for you. So it's good to see a sort of kind of positive message coming through. A lot of these readings have been very, very confronting this full moon, so you got it off easy, Libra. I like that for you. You are more than welcome to check out your other placements. If you are looking for some of the hard stuff, maybe check out your moon sign. Like I said, a lot of the other reads have been very confronting this month, so check those out. Subscribe to the channel, and I will move on over to our Scorpios. Okay, Scorpio, how are we? Scorpio, what does Scorpio need to see for their shadow work, please? Scorpio, what does Scorpio need to see for their shadow work this month? Scorpio. Oh, I'm seeing that second card for quite a few signs. You're the third sign, I think, that's had that. We do have neglect coming through, first and foremost. Tend to your inner garden and it will flourish. Okay, so something deep within you that you have been sort of not looking after yourself, not looking after your emotions in the most positive way for yourself. It's kind of like... with that neglect card, I do get the energy of you like pushing down your emotions and just trying to ignore them, neglecting them altogether, not allowing yourself to feel, you know, is the main thing I'm getting here. We also have the insecurity card coming through. Your worth is intrinsic and unchanging. So for a lot of you, there may be something, you know, to do with your self-value, your self-worth, that you are kind of neglecting facing that issue. But we'll clarify that a little bit here for you. Scorpio, neglect and insecurity for Scorpio's shadow work, please. Clarifying neglect and insecurity for Scorpio and shadow work. And one more, please. Scorpio. So firstly, we are seeing the mice energy. Okay, so that is another rough energy to be starting off with. It is coming through with the key. Okay, so the key does talk about opportunities. So with the mice energy there, this is missed opportunities that you have, you know, allowed your insecurities to stop you from taking, walking through that door, taking that opportunity and seeing where it leads you, neglecting to even see that these opportunities are available to you. I do feel that for some of you, this is like you've in the past, you may have lost opportunities because you have neglected to see them as an opportunity, as an option. Okay, because with the key kind of gives us the imagery of a hallway with a bunch of doors, and you know, every single door is an opportunity that you have to take, that you can take that opportunity, and then on the other side of each of those doors, you know, it does lead you to success in different, you know, ways in different parts of your life, even if sometimes it doesn't look like that. But what's kind of happened is you've seen all these doors and you've gone, nope. I'm neglecting thinking that I'm worth taking any of these opportunities. You know, so you may have neglected your true self a little bit here, because your worth is telling you, oh, that opportunity is too good for me. I'm not valuable enough to take that opportunity. whether it be, in all, I'm getting all different areas of your life here. I am getting specifically for some of you, career stuff and love stuff coming through the most strongest here. So it's kind of led for you to now kind of be looking back, feeling as though you've lost out on opportunities, that you've had opportunities that, options that you may have had that were sort of taken away from you because you neglected to feel worthy of those in some kind of way. Or for some of you, you've stressed so much about all these different options, that you've stressed so much about which door do I go through, that you've kind of neglected to make a choice and actually choose to walk through any of them. You've kind of freaked yourself out in your own head and gone, this is too stressful, I'm just going to stay where I'm at because change, I don't want to see what's on the other sides of those. I don't want to actually take an opportunity, because what happens if it doesn't work out? What happens if I can't make it? I can't do it. But we're definitely seeing you starting to look a little bit closer at this sort of stuff within your past, which is enabling you to make the change for the future. Because we do have the rider and the child here. So the rider, I feel, is like you going, that's it, I'm going to get back up on the horse and I'm going to, make an attempt to take opportunities, to see opportunities when they're offered to me. I'm going to sort of sit here and sift through the past and sort of maybe pay attention to things that I never paid attention to before. What I'm actually seeing too is we've got 7, 8, and then 9 with those cards. So we are seeing a progression here. We are seeing you growing and then jumping to this new beginning. We're skipping 10 and moving straight to the Jack. Okay, so the Jack is a brand new beginning, looking at life as though it's an adventure. It's an opportunity to get back up on that bike and, look, I'm now in this spot where I can actually take these opportunities. And do you know what? I'm going to, rather than looking at it as like, this is scary, I've got all these options, I'm like, oh, this is really cool. I might see what, I might just randomly open one and see what's on the other side. So you're really looking at it with a bit more adventurous spirit and willing to actually step into some new beginnings and new opportunities for yourself. So I really feel as though this is kind of like a change of mindset for you, and that's what it's asking you to really look at here is looking at lost opportunities and success that you could have had, and seeing how to learn from those missed out on chances, and learn from that in order to not miss out on chances again in the future. Okay, so you're not going to neglect your opportunities in the future, especially when it's coming to do with your sense of self-value, your self-worth. You're not going to allow that to, stop you in the future. You're going to, as scary as it may be to get up on that motorbike and ride off into the sunset, you're going to do it anyway, is what I'm kind of getting there, that you're going to, I'm just going to try. It's like an adventure rather than a trial, is what I'm kind of seeing, that it's your mindset slowly starting to change here. And it all starts with you sort of consciously thinking about these things and looking back. There's a bit of reflection here, looking back at opportunities you may have missed out on in the past. Okay, so relatively straightforward for you, Scorpio. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course, especially your moon sign being the full moon. Subscribe to the channel, and I will move on over to our Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius. What does Sagittarius need to see for their shadow work this month? What does Sagittarius need to see for their shadow work this month, please? Sagittarius. Pardon me. Obsession. Okay. Release the chains of thought and free your mind. I'm picking up the word compulsion a little bit more than obsession for you here, Sagittarius. compulsion, and it's playing in with this as well. We have deceit coming through there, which does say honesty is the bridge to authentic connections. So it's kind of like whatever it's because, and that's coming through, deceit is coming through a little bit as disillusionment. Like you're not seeing clearly. You can see in that obsession card, it's like this person at the center of this maze. And so their obsession, the compulsion to have everything the right way is kind of keeping you a little bit stuck and confused. And that is actually leading to this illusion that I'm stuck in the middle of this maze. And I can't find my way out. I'm deceiving myself that I can't find my way out. And it feels like it's got to do with the bridge to authentic connection. So it's like being more honest with yourself about the things that you are compelled to do, and how that leads you to deceive yourself in certain ways. Because it's like I can't see clearly what the compulsion obsession is. Clarify the obsession, the compulsion for Sagittarius. Obsession for Sagittarius with their shadow work, please. So yeah, it's kind of like worst case scenarios, because we have the lily here, as well as the whip. Okay, so the whip kind of tells you that you're compulsively punishing yourself. You're in conflict and trouble and tension within your own thinking, because you're trying to kind of punish yourself. And with the lily there, it's like the lily is about emotional sensitivity, but it's also the longevity card. Okay, so it's kind of like you're punishing yourself, telling yourself things like, this is never going to work out. I am never going to be this. I am never going to have that. And it's kind of a compulsion to think worst case scenario when it comes to yourself here, that it kind of does feel like it may be very linked with self-worth and self-value, which has come up for a few signs. So you may want to check out your moon placement as well. But it's kind of like you're conflicted strongly here, because there's certain things that you wish for in the long term, like 10, 20, 30 years from now. I wish my life would be like, I wish I would have this, and my life would look like this, and I would have that by then. But you're punishing yourself, telling yourself, I'm never going to have that. You're chaining, it's like you're obsessed with negative thought and thinking that the future is going to be bad. And you're kind of telling yourself, I'm only going to have drama. I'm only ever going to have, it's going to be a fight for the rest of my life. Because a lot of you, this may come from experience, that you may have had to fight for everything that you've got up until now. But that's put you into this obsessive compulsion, where that's the only thing I know how to deal with. That's the only thing I know how to see potential in my future. So, it is having a long-term effect here, though. So it really does, you need to stop trapping yourself within your own mind. Stop punishing yourself by only thinking about the potential negative outcomes for things in your life and your life in general, with yourself, that, I only ever get bad stuff. Like if that's something that you think, that's what needs to change here. You need to, because your thoughts are chaining you, your thoughts are punishing you. You need to free yourself from that self-conflict, that self-punishment. Okay, you're beating yourself up, and you're doing it obsessively. It's like a compulsion. You're doing it, for a lot of you, you're doing it without even meaning to. Like I feel like you're aware of it, but you're not. Like it's a compulsion. It's not necessarily a conscious decision to do that. It's just something that you feel compelled to only see the negative stuff. So it's really asking you to look at that side of things, and realize that the way that you're thinking about yourself and your future, you're deceiving yourself. It's a deceit that your mind is playing tricks on you a little bit here. Honesty is the bridge to authentic connection. So it does seem to be affecting the way that you're building connections in your life as well. So if you are kind of telling, because what I'm sort of picking up here, Sagittarius, is somebody who is like telling themselves so obsessively, I will never have love. I will never have the partner that I want. I will never have a positive relationship. I will never have someone who treats me good. And because you are obsessively, compulsively telling yourself that, and deceiving yourself, you're deceiving yourself into believing that it's true. So therefore, every time that you try to build a connection with somebody, you're bringing that energy in, and making it 100 times more likely that that becomes the truth of the matter, because that's the energy that like attracts like. And if that's your energy that you're bringing in, and you're already putting that future on this person that you're trying to build a positive relationship with, it's much, much harder to build that positive relationship that you actually want. But we'll just clarify that deceit energy for you, Sagittarius. Deceit for Sagittarius, shadow work, please. The clover and the coffin. Okay, so the clover is all about being a bit more courageous and taking chances, investing in things as though they can transform, that you're not going to be tied into the same old, same old. This is a transformation. The coffin is, things that have ended bring brand new beginnings for you, that there's new beginnings, there's new ways of doing things that you can, as long as you have the courage to, consciously face this issue within yourself, and take a risk on investing positive energy here, that you are going to be able to transform this, and stop deceiving yourself. You're going to be able to transform that deceit into honesty, and transform that obsession, compulsion energy into positive. Instead of beating yourself up and looking at the long-term future as though it's going to be horrible, you can end that and start all over from a brand new beginning for yourself here. Okay, so there is hope at the end of the tunnel here, Sagittarius. It's just about the way that you're thinking, and the way that you're holding yourself, and you're bringing this energy. It's kind of like you're negatively manifesting, which a lot of people don't realize that you can actually do. Like when you are manifesting things, sometimes you can accidentally manifest, by, the more that you repeat something negative, the more true that becomes. Okay, so that's kind of what you're doing there, is you're manifesting negatively, not intentionally, of course, but it's a deceit that's becoming real in your life because of how often you're telling yourself those negative things about yourself. Okay, but you're more than welcome to check your other placements, of course, especially your moon placement being the full moon. All right, subscribe to the channel, and I will move on over to our Capricorns. I'm just going to adjust my seat. Okay, that's a little bit better. All right. Sorry. Okay, so moving on to Capricorn. Capricorn, shadow work for our Capricorns. What does Capricorn need to see for their shadow work in October? Capricorn, shadow work for Capricorn in October. That's not a Capricorn thing at all, says the Capricorn who likes to be in control. Here we go. We have control, Capricorn. By letting go of the illusion of control, we open ourselves to genuine freedom. What are you trying to control, Capricorn, other than everything? For a lot of you, it's emotional control. Trying to control your emotions here. Because the second card I do have is numbness. Okay, now this is a super hard energy. To feel pain is to be alive and human. Okay, because numbness is what happens when our emotions get so much overwhelming that, you know, the only way that we can deal with anything is to go completely numb. Numbness is very often linked with severe anxiety and depression and all those sorts of things. Okay, it can be a very, very big negative thing. But with the Capricorn energy, I do want to say, you know, a lot of people would sort of liken Capricorns to robots. And, you know, with the control and numbness both coming out, I am picking up on that robotic energy here a little bit, that you're trying to control yourself in that sort of a manner, Capricorn, to the point where you're trying to be robotic rather than allowing yourself to be human. You know, to feel pain is to be alive and human. So there's something that really hurts you, that you're trying to control the flow of emotion around that. But I'll definitely clarify though that, because, you know, this can go a lot of different ways here. And numbness to me is numbness is actually such a deep emotion of no emotion. Like, it's actually, to me personally, I feel like numbness is actually scary. When I go numb, that's scary to me, because I can handle being emotional. Like, I know how to deal with that. The numbness, that's hard. That's hard. And as someone who is neurodivergent, that numbness is a severe concern. If you are, especially for those of you who are, you know, have had severe trauma in your life, or have severe, like, I don't really want to say severe neurodivergency, but like you will know if that's you, okay? Because you'll kind of know what I'm talking about on that vein of things, because, you know, I'm talking from personal experience, and a lot of the time it's connected with trauma, unfortunately. Capricorn, I'm just feeling that it's like the tip of the iceberg, okay? And I'm about to start crying, because there's a lot that it's like that numbness is an iceberg, okay? Like, the only part of that that's above the surface is the numbness, the cold of the iceberg, but below the surface it is like every single emotion times 100. Like, I don't know why people think Capricorn are so non-emotional, because Capricorns seem to have, like, a lot of the Capricorns I know are like more emotional. They just control it better, or like put those emotions into other things. That's why we're known as the money guys, like the money ones, because the money sign, you know, because a Capricorn that turns that numbness into profit, rich. Okay, clarifying Capricorn's energy here. Control and numbness for Capricorn with the shadow work, please. This is going to be a rough one on you, Capricorn, this full moon. I am picking up on some trauma. So, you know, some of you this may not resonate for, which is perfectly fine. You're more than welcome to check out your, you know, other strong placements, especially moon placements being a full moon. But this particular full moon is going to be quite rough on Capricorn energy, being that it's, you know, we've got Aries, Libra, Capricorn, and Cancer. So if you're like me and you're a Capricorn with a strong placement in especially Aries or Libra, this is going to be a hard one. Okay, but we are seeing the ruins coming through first. So that's that numbness, that's that control. You've neglected this part of yourself so much that you've let it go to ruin, that you know, I'm kind of getting like you've built something within yourself, Capricorn, and you've neglected to maintain it. Okay, because this ruin, it shows us, you know, like a cityscape that is now a ruin. It's been left unattended. Okay, so you have kind of neglected some feelings, some stuff that you know you need to deal with. You've neglected that. You've tried to control yourself so much, you know, when really you have no control over that. It's always been there. It's still there. It's part of who you are, Capricorn, unfortunately. Like, and you refuse to see that, you know, things can grow in the cracks of these ruins. You know, just because it's gone to ruin doesn't mean that it's not still something, you know, one of the most beautiful things in the world. Think about some of the ancient ruins in the world that exist today, and how they are classified as some of the most beautiful things in the whole world. Okay, like think about some of like the ancient, you know, like Roman Empire ruins and those sorts of things. Like even Stonehenge, you know, people, like hundreds of thousands of people go to Stonehenge every single year. And what is that but a ruin? Okay, it's not whole. It's not whole. It has not been whole for a very long time. It is literally some blocks of sandstone that have been eroded by time, by trauma, by, you know, people, humans, others that have tried to destroy them, that have tried to pull them down and break them over and over and over again, you know, trampled and changed by history. Yet it is still one of the most beautiful things in the world. Why are you hiding that within yourself? You know, it's kind of like, it's kind of like, oh, I hope that the people that need to hear this, it resonates with what I'm saying, that you understand what I'm sort of saying and getting at here, because this is actually very, very deep. This is not a superficial thing. This is something very deep within you. And it's like, when I'm talking about these ruins within you, it's you. It's the soul of who you are. It's the core of where you've been and who you are, and all this work that you've put in to try to, you know, fix this person and heal these broken little pieces here and there. And, you know, but you've neglected it. There's been some neglect as well, and you've tried to push it down and control who can see that, and control who can come to visit this Stonehenge within you. Okay, and the more that you try to control that, the more damaged it's getting. It needs to be seen. It needs to be known. It's a part of you. It needs to be accepted. Okay, and for a lot of you, I hate to say this, but it's coming from trauma. Okay, the other two cards I have here, we have the Sun and the Snake. Okay, so for some of you, This may specifically be linked to issues with a Leo or a Scorpio. You may have strong Leo or Scorpio in your placements. That Scorpio does link up very muchly with the control stuff as well. But the sun is trying to show you that, look, not only are these ruins, look at that. There's the giant big sun at the back of those ruins. Here's this giant big sun here trying to be shown. It's the light. It's not just ruins, but it's light as well, Capricorn. There's beauty in the ruin. Okay, it is the message I'm getting here, that, you know, that the fact that you can smile and be happy ever in your life, that is part of this beauty that you're hiding from the world. Look how much you've got within you. You have these ruins of yesteryear within you, but you've also got the whole entire sun. You know, that's like the center of the universe, the thing that shines the brightest in our universe. Okay, the sun is a star, which is our wishes, our desires, our dreams. I don't know, I'm ching at the moment. Sorry about that. There's something, you know, having a little glitch moment there. Sorry about that. I caught up. Anyway, we also have the snake. Like I said, it's still I just need to just quickly pause that and see if I can fix that. Okay, sorry. That does appear to have helped a little bit. All right, so the snake energy, Capricorn, it's self-deceit. It's you're seeing yourself in a way that is not true. That's why there's this numbness within you. It's because you're trying to push that light down just as much as you're pushing those ruins away, and you're hiding the trauma from yourself and the truth of every single, this is, you know, every single thing that's ever happened to you, every single person that's ever tried to push you down, you know, beat you up, hold you back. You keep on shining anyway. And, you know, the more that you hold that side of yourself down, that darker, hard part to deal with, and try to control those, you know, more negative feelings, the more you're pushing down that sun, that happiness, okay, and you're stopping yourself from revealing the truth of who you are, okay, human, just like the rest of us, okay, Capricorn, you know, be passionate about who you truly are, because yeah, there's ruins there, but you know what? You're effing Stonehenge, baby. You shine brighter than a lot of things in this whole entire world. So, you know, stop pushing it away and stopping yourself from feeling. Okay, I do pick up with that snake as well, that for some of you, this is specifically related to physical or sexual trauma. I did see that for one of the other signs as well. Cancer, I believe it may have been. I'm not going to talk any more about this, Capricorn, because for those of you where this resonates, you'll know. Okay, and it's not even about knowing what to do from here. It's about starting to open up to thinking about it, okay, and starting to face that side of yourself, and to starting to see that what you might see as ruins and destroyed within yourself is actually part of what makes you beautiful, okay? So some food for thought, Capricorn. Very deep message there. I'm sorry if that is a bit confronting for anybody. You know, I'm definitely going to be putting a trigger warning on this reading this week. It's a little bit full on for a lot of the signs this month, but I hope that helps in some kind of a way, Capricorn, for those of you who needed to hear that message. All right, myself included. I am a Capricorn, and you know, sometimes I sit here and rewatch these videos and bawl my little eyes out at some of the stuff that it brings up for me myself as well. Okay, I am open for personal readings if anyone does want to delve into that a little bit more, because you know, I do strive to bring shadow work to the surface for a lot of people, and it's important to me with my own path of spiritual growth and personal growth. So if you are on that same path and you would like to delve a little bit more into your stuff, feel more than welcome to, check the description box to contact me as well. Okay, Capricorn. And you know what? I'm going to offer like a discount for Capricorns, okay? Discount if you're a Capricorn. Don't tell everyone. But that's what we've got for you. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements. Subscribe to the channel as well, guys. And we will move on over to Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius. Shadow work for Aquarius. What does Aquarius need to see for their shadow work, please? Shadow work for Aquarius this month. Something right at the surface there, Aquarius. What's that? I'm actually getting 3 for you here. I have only been getting 2 for everyone, but firstly, I've got rejection coming through here. Through the sting of being left out, we discover our own inner worth. This is a tough one, Aquarius, because, rejection is a very hard thing to deal with, yeah? We also have ego. Beyond the facade of ego lies the depth of true character. So some sort of rejection has really, really stripped your ego down to bare. The third card that came out is dependency. Find strength in self-sufficiency and empowerment. So there's something about, because I'm getting rejection linking with ego, but I'm also getting the ego linking with the dependency. Your ego is wrapped up in people, somebody around you, rather than self-worth. So therefore, when you feel rejected by someone, people, there goes the self-worth, because that's where your ego is wrapped in. That's your facade. You're allowing yourself to believe that you're dependent on this facade of others and how others treat you to be your facade. It's coming through a little bit unclear here, so I'm just going to clarify straight away, and we'll go from there. Clarifying this shadow work message for Aquarius, please. Rejection, ego, and dependency for Aquarius, please. So the sting, the snake, the sting of rejection, the snake, the deception, the illusion, physical, sexual rejection, betrayal. It's for a lot of you, it's rejection in the form of betrayal, that it's feeling rejected and betrayed by somebody because they are not as dependent on you as you are on them. It is kind of what I'm getting. And that the next card I have is the Astral, which is your ego. Okay, so your ego is outside of yourself. It's not you. Like with the astral card, it normally would talk about, the more spiritual energy side of things. But all I'm sort of picking up from this right here is that it's talking about outside of yourself. So, your energy seems to be so wrapped up in other people. And your ego is other people, what other people perceive you as or see you. Like, your ego is outside of yourself. It's not coming from in here. It's coming from out here. This facade of how other people see you is how you believe you are. And so when you are rejected or deceived or betrayed by somebody, it makes you believe that that is all you're worth, that that is how you should be treated, that you become dependent on that energy in a very negative way as well. You're not seeing your true character because you're seeing yourself from within, from not from within, from you're seeing yourself through everybody else's eyes, and not everybody else is going to see the beauty and give you that inner worth. Like, not everybody is going to include you and want to be around you, and it's going to trash your ego a little bit here, Aquarius, because you're putting so much weight onto, what other people think about you, rather than knowing yourself and trusting that that's who I really am. If somebody says to you, Aquarius, you're an a-hole, you start to tell yourself, I must be an a-hole, rather than actually sitting down and going, I don't think I'm really an a-hole. I think I'm actually a very kind, loving person. Maybe that one person sees me as an a-hole because, they are an a-hole and they were mirroring that and seeing that side of me because that's all they wanted to see. But I'm a lot more than that. We all can be a bit of an a-hole sometimes, right? But it's kind of like this dependency on other people to prop you up is what's being asked to look at this month for you, within your own ego, because I feel like for a lot of you that rejection and codependency issues are really, really being very detrimental to you because of the fact that you're relying so much on others rather than your own self. For the dependency, we do have the bear, which is kind of straight away telling us, finding strength in self-sufficiency and empowerment. That is exactly what the bear talks about. It's standing up for yourself. It's finding your self-empowerment. It's being strong and powerful all by your little self. Okay, it's having boundaries between yourself and others, which I just want to, going back to the intro about this actual full moon, one of the things that are going to be popping up this full moon, we have ego and control issues. Okay, empowerment and transformation were some of the keywords for this full moon. Okay, so that's why it's coming to the surface at the moment, because needing to transform and become more self-empowered, trust yourself from your own worth, believing in yourself rather than believing what other people see you as or believe you to be, because that's not necessarily the truth, Aquarius. You need to find yourself, not finding what other people see. Find what you see and what you want to be, and be that, rather than being what they want you to be. Okay? Stand tall and firm and strong and powerful in your own little bear outfit, okay? Be like the bear, not the man. I was hearing, I'm like, be like the bear, and even if you have to rip a few faces off in the process, go ahead, Aquarius. Although, you know, like not in a serial killer kind of way, in a normal standing up for yourself, boundaries kind of a way. All right, I just want to put that out there, just in case, you know. But that's what we've got for you this month, Aquarius. More than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. You know, especially your moon sign being the full moon. Subscribe to the channel, and I will move on over to Pisces. Okay, Pisces. Shadow work for Pisces. What does Pisces need to see for their shadow work this month? Pisces, what does Pisces need to see for their shadow work this month? I'm just intuitively feeling, Pisces, that you may be another sign getting off easy this month. Not going to lie. Unless, of course, you've got heavy Aries, Libra, Capricorn, or Cancer placements. They will be a little bit affected, but I feel like you, Pisces, you might get off a little bit easier this month. Let's have a look. Pisces, shadow work for Pisces. There's a little bit there, Pisces, but it's not, it doesn't feel like it's too bad. Okay, we have projection. I'm also getting this is coming as mirroring energy, so which is kind of very much the same as projecting our emotions onto others, seeing reflection of others in ourselves, you know, vice versa, looking back and forth. So it's got something to do with the way that you're perceiving others and the way that you're allowing others to perceive you. It's kind of going both ways here. It does say seek the truth within before pointing fingers. Okay, especially when it comes to anger. Okay, because if you're, this is anger, by the way, if you're seeing anger in somebody, or if somebody is acting angrily, speaking angrily to you, there's something you need to look at about yourself in that. And it may not be the anger itself, it may be the way that you react to this. I'm picking up here for some of you, the projection anger stuff is like I'm hearing the phrase reactive anger. Okay, that you may be projecting onto somebody that they are such an angry person. Oh, you're such a Karen. But you're not admitting to yourself that they're actually being like that because they are reacting instinctively to something you have done or said. Okay, Pisces, so you're needing to take a little bit of personal responsibility this month. But that one does say use its fire to transform, not to destroy. So, you know, anger comes from passion. Okay, we don't feel angry about things if there's no emotion. All right, which is hard for a lot of people to admit. But when someone gets super angry about something, it's because they're passionate about something. They're reactive, they're passionate, they've got this inner fire that's reacting emotionally in an angry, yelling, screaming, whatever kind of a way here. I did have anger come out for one of the other signs as well, but I can't even remember who it was now. Maybe Leo. But clarifying this energy for Pisces, please. You're effing kidding me, Pisces. What have I been saying the projection energy is like? That flew across the room. So I'm going on a mission. The mirror. Look at that. Okay, Pisces, that I'm having one of those readings, okay? This particular reading today, I'm saying things before I'm even seeing the cards that are coming out. You know, like my intuition today is actually quite strong with this full moon energy. And, you know, I was just saying with that projection energy, I am getting mirroring straight up. There's the mirroring card. And it flew across the room. So before you point fingers, you need to be able to look yourself in the mirror. Here's me pointing my finger. I do have a couple of Pisces placements, not going to lie. Pisces, clarifying this energy for Pisces, please. Projection and anger for Pisces. I'm getting really revved up too, Pisces. So, you know, like it's mirroring it back at me as well. And I'm a bit fiery. I've got both my moon and rising are fire placements. So, you know, I am someone who can get a little bit fiery, and it is projecting back at me from your energy right now. Okay, so you have this like venom, this fire within you, like you need to find a safe outlet to release that anger, Pisces. There's, you know, even if you don't think that you're angry about anything, there's some hidden anger, okay? Pisces, you guys are so sweet most of the time, but there is this hidden anger, okay? Allow it to transform, not to destroy, because what happens if you allow that anger to build and build and build? Do you know what? It's got to do with a slimy person. There's the octopus at the bottom of the deck. And I am seeing the garden and the dog coming through here. So for a lot of you, this is a specific person or people around you that you have dealt with, are dealing with. They may be a slimy, sneaky, creepy person. A lot of the time I get this inky, oily, slimy energy off the octopus, and I'm getting it right now, which is why I mentioned that, because there's this person in your energy that, and I feel like maybe that's why you react so strongly to this person, even if you don't feel that from them at all. Your energy, their energy, you react to their energy because their energy is this octopus energy where they're like, they're trying to get all their little fingers in all the little pies and twist everything up to the way that they want. They think they're being really clever, and I'm getting super angry and fiery. Oh, but with the garden there, for some of you, this may be someone you have dated. There's this energy of you're matching them, you're matching their energy, and that's why it's coming through like this, okay? With the dog here, there's this energy of like, it's like you're protecting your loyalty, you're protecting your support systems from this person's energy. Even if you don't know that you're doing this, or even if you're not even picking up anything negative about this person, there is something about this person that makes you super angry, because it's like triggers something within you about yourself. And once again, for a lot of you, it's just the way you react to this person. So there may be somebody around you who you react to them differently to how you react to anyone else in your life, and you just don't know why, but it's because there's something sneaky about this person. They're kind of like camouflaging their truth in a sense here. They may actually be a very, very angry person, and it's really affecting your energy, Pisces. You guys are very sensitive, so I would not be surprised if it's just energy alone. And you don't even realize that this is happening for some of you, because, you know, not everyone is able to, you know, pick up on energy as easily. Some of you may know about this, but and others of you, I feel like you out and out, there is a specific person you're angry at. But there is also this element of, what is it about myself that makes me so angry at this person? It's because it's triggering something within you yourself. What exactly is this triggering within Pisces? What does Pisces need to look at as the trigger within self? I'm seeing a lot of anger, and I'm seeing a lot of this other person's anger, pardon, and energy, but What exactly is it triggering within Pisces? Is there something specific? We have the fox coming through. So for some of you, it's triggering your self-protection. You know, I need to look out for myself. You're trying to protect yourself from this energy. For others of you, it's triggering like, it's kind of like it's threatening your independence. It's kind of like it doesn't make sense for others of you, and because you're trying to make logical, rational sense of this situation, that's why it's triggering you, because you cannot make like intelligent design to this situation. It's because it's in the energy, Pisces. It's something going on in the energy. It's not like a physical thing. I don't even feel like this person, for a lot of you, this person may not even display anger, but oh, geez, they have a lot of it. And for a lot of them, it's towards themselves. It's just towards themselves. They're angry at themselves. And so for some of you, there may be some underlying anger at yourself as well. And that's what you're needing to face within your own self is this anger towards yourself, this anger towards your emotions. Why, like, I don't want to feel like this. I'm cranky at myself for feeling upset. Some of you, that it's kind of along those lines. But all in all, it's kind of just, it feels like it's majority of it's this person, to be honest, Pisces. And it's just setting something off within your energy. And that's why it's in your shadow work, because there's just something that it's kind of bringing to the surface within your own energy that you do need to sort of face, because, the more projections of this person, the more this person's energy projects onto you, the more it flares your energy up in a bad way. So it's going to get out of control, because with that anger, it's like once something sets to burn, if you can't control that burn, it could go up in flames and start burning down all the houses around you. So it could start affecting other areas of your life if we don't get a control on this. So it's just kind of like a pre-warning that if you're feeling a bit like somebody's triggering you a little bit here, or you're picking up on some angry energy from somebody, or just being around somebody is making you feel angry and you don't know why, don't try to put logic to it. Just trust it. Okay. And ask yourself, what is it about me that is getting triggered by this person? And ask yourself emotionally, intuitively, rather than trying to put logic on it, because I just feel like logic is just not going to work in this situation, because that's why, that's what it's triggering. It's triggering your logic's not making sense here, but it's like this person's a bit slimy and I'm not getting the best energy off this person. So there's just something about this person that you just can't really trust. And you intuitively know that. And that's why you're kind of getting triggered a little bit, and you're thinking that maybe I'm projecting, you're questioning yourself. So don't question yourself. Just trust your intuition when it comes to that person. Okay. And it's probably someone you may have dated, or socially, or even just someone that you encounter publicly. Okay, it may not even be someone that you're close to, but trust your intuition, Pisces. But that's what we have for you. More than welcome to check out your other placements, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all again soon.